everybody, and welcome to The Void, a show dedicated to filling the void between being an employee and becoming self-employed. Most people refer to starting your own company as taking the leap, as if they're blindly jumping off a cliff and into the unknown. This show is here to help you understand that it doesn't have to be that way. As always, if you like what you're hearing on the show, please do us a favor and help share The Void with somebody else who might also be wanting to start their own company. We saw an opportunity to help others understand that self-employment is well within your reach, and just as our businesses have grown organically and by word of mouth, we want this show to grow the same way. So if you see somebody asking questions about starting their own service-based business, please send them a link to the show. I'm your host, Mitch Smedley, and with me as always is David Hilton.
Mitch.
David.
Last week I asked you, what stupid thing have you done in the last week? Right? I gave my example. You gave yours.
You stabbed yourself in the leg, and I foolishly went after a deer without giving it enough time.
I wasn't looking for a dumbass recap, but yes, that's what happened.
Well, any chance I can remind you that you stabbed yourself in the leg, I'm gonna.
I'm okay. What? Give me an example of this. What? Give me a smart decision you made last week.
Smart decision.
It doesn't have to be like Einstein smart, but like what was just? You got anything? I have nothing. I'm completely flying off the hip here.
Let me think here.
I have another dumbass decision I made.
Well, tell what your dumbass one. So I actually spend time like trying to recognize that like smart decisions I've made.
Yeah, it's hard. So why is it so much easier to notice the hard decisions that you've made or the dumb decisions you've made versus the smart decisions? What do you think that is?
Comparison. You're always comparing yourself to like, yeah, that was a good decision, but it's nowhere near as good as this guy who's driving a Bugatti, you know.
And it's just easy to point out the stupid things.
Yeah. I think it's really tough in the photography video world is because you could wake up in the morning and you can see this like baller edit or baller photo, but like you don't realize the guy spent like 8 hours on it or something like that. And so you're looking up and you're basically comparing. You're like, I haven't even started the day, and you're looking at. That's why it's really you shouldn't look at social media in the morning. Probably.
It's a turning point in life when you realize that you're seeing somebody's final product and you don't, like most people don't realize how much work went into that. All you're seeing is the final product.
Well, it's seeing the final product, but also looking at it when you just wake up because it's like you haven't even had time to even start getting ready. So it's like you're already being like, well, I'm behind.
I'm already a step back.
Right. Yeah.
So what was your dumbass decision you made?
So I killed that deer, right?
Right.
And then I thought I'd do my own European mount on it and boiled that thing for like 5 hours. Not done. Had to boil it for another hour. Then my pressure washer wouldn't start, and it's like 7 o'clock. The Chiefs game's about to start. I got to drive to the car wash in the dark, spray the thing out, get back, realize, still didn't boil long enough. So now I got a pot of steaming, disgusting mess that's sitting outside my house. And still am not done.
So
I mean,
playing on that theme, I'll tell you that.
What an idiot!
I'll tell you the smart move I made this week. So my son, like we talked about in the last show, my son shot a deer. Right?
Yeah.
We took it to the meat processor. Usually I do this myself. However, our business is getting big enough where my time is becoming incredibly precious. Right?
Mitch Smedley, my time is so valuable. so fucking important. Look at me.
We went back the day we went back down there to look for my deer that I couldn't find. We had Mason's deer hanging out behind the house. I'm sure my HOA loves a dead deer hanging in the backyard. But
hey, man, welcome to reality.
Yeah. So we took it down from behind the house, and since we were going back down there is a Mennonite butcher shop down there. So we went ahead and dropped it off. Well, on the way in to the Mennonite butcher shop, like 3 blocks from the Mennonite butcher shop, there's a sign on the side of the road that says European mounts, $100.
Sold.
And I've lived what you're going through with the European mounts. I've done several, and I'm like, man, that is like 5 to 8 hours of work. $100 for somebody else to do 5 to 8 hours of work? Abso-freaking-lutely.
Yeah, you're like $12 an hour.
So we go to the butcher shop, they cut the head off, we come, like, on our way out, we stop by the taxidermy place and we hand it to him. It's like the best $100 I've spent in a long time.
Yeah, this will probably be the only one I ever do.
Yeah.
Like, if someone asks me, I might help them and then laugh while they're trying to get the brain matter out.
Right.
Like, see, I told you. Did I tell you to take it to the guy?
There's a morbid feeling about sticking a swizzle stick in the back of that hole and trying to mush the brain up and get it to pour out of that hole.
I haven't found it... to be morbid, I found it to be...
You know the trick.
An extremely painstaking, time-consuming process that I don't have time to fuck with.
You know the trick.
That's what I found with.
You take your daughter and you give her the pressure washer and you put the nozzle of the pressure washer right in that little hole that gets you into the brain cavity.
Yeah.
And you have your daughter pull the trigger. You stand well clear of it.
Yeah.
She gets covered in brain matter. She'll never do it again.
No. Yes, my wife would be so pissed. Oh, my God. It's easier just to deal with the brain matter myself.
Yeah.
You know? So you had a smart decision.
My smart decision was paying somebody else to do the European
I had another
mount.
dumb decision, and to be honest, I can't think of one smart thing I did all week.
Yeah. So...
I literally can't think of one smart... That's sad. That's where my life is right now.
So today, I mean, you were there, obviously. I came back over to your house earlier today.
Oh, yeah.
My youngest son is deciding he wants to go hunting now, and he's kind of a tenderfoot. And so I'm trying to find this balance of
Well, first off, in the kid's defense, you're going to have him shoot the same 12-gauge slug gun that you and Mason shoot. Mason's 30. That kid is like a wiry little turd.
Yeah.
I saw it. So first off, he hit the first pumpkin.
Yeah.
And I was proud. I came out. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in the house watching.
Yeah.
But, I mean, literally, it looked like... I mean, he got rocked.
He's getting rocked by the thing.
Well, the thing is, like, when you're taking
He
your
only missed one shot out of that whole thing.
Yeah, he did good.
So
is it kind of the thing? It's like the commitment. You're like, it takes an hour and a half to get there. So if he wimps out on your way there, you're like, well, we have a whole day ahead of us.
No,
he won't. He'll sit there.
He won't wimp out.
I'm just trying to. But
I'm just trying to gauge, like, is he? He's the youngest one, so there's a lot of things that he thinks he wants to do only because his older brother's doing it. He doesn't actually want to do it. So I'm trying to gauge, like, does he really want to go hunting or not? Like,
does he really want to see the blood that's about to be spilled?
Right. And then, like, does he want to watch a deer expire? Does he want to cut the guts out of a deer? And, you know, there's a lot of...
He cried when he let the snake go.
Right.
It may be...
You know, it's going to be a teachable moment regardless, right?
We'll see.
But
we'll see what happens.
He handled the shotgun like a champ. He handled your 300 like a champ. Of course, he wants to shoot the 300 because it doesn't kick.
It looks cool.
And it's got a red dot scope. And
it doesn't kick at all.
No.
Dude, that thing is like shooting a pellet gun.
Yeah.
The biggest kick I've ever shot was an M1 Grand.
Yeah,
those things. I remember not even because it doesn't have like all the nice shock absorbing technology that they have.
Semi-automatic.
Yeah,
I just remember being like,
so any semi-automatic is going to have less kick than a pump shotgun.
You know what we need to get him? You know what? Bring him over to the house and let him shoot that slug gun. A 12-gauge slug gun.
Austin?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a podcast episode here.
Mm-hmm. We bring Austin over and we just make him shoot shit.
Are you a hunter?
I've never hunted before.
Oh,
okay,
shit.
Would you?
Dude, turkey season is right around the corner.
No. I'm thinking the three of us get into a ground blind.
Ooh, my blind's not big enough.
And
I can
we
get
let
one,
Austin.
I can get one.
My ground blind might be big enough. I've sat 3 in my ground blind before.
Where it's kind of like you put the producer Austin in like uncomfortable situations and film him.
No. It's just... So
yes, 100%, yes.
For the people listening to this show, if you have children and you've watched your child shoot their first deer, it's like the most unforgettable day ever, right?
Yeah.
And so now it's like I want to go hunting not for myself, like I want to take other people hunting.
I'm Mitch's child.
So no, not child.
First off, yes, 100%. Austin is Mitch's 4th child. He has Mason, Grant, his wife, and then Austin.
He just starts adopting people who are like, I want to experience my child shooting a gun.
Yeah.
Can you go with me?
I want to help you. Come with me in the woods in this little blind. And
I think it'd be hilarious to watch Austin shoot his first deer.
Dude, I'll do it. I got that GoPro. We'll put that GoPro on his ass.
Yeah, I remember actually.
I bet he cries.
One of the guys was shooting.
Like when he's gutting it. Yeah.
No.
I remember like one of the guys on this trip was shooting like a 50 caliber, and he was shooting like practice rounds, and like basically when he went to shoot again, the guy had switched out with like high impact rounds or whatever they call it, like more powerful.
Yeah.
He was like, boom. You know, usually you won't do it because of safety.
Yeah.
But he's like, whoa.
Fuck safety. I want to see entertainment.
So that's my biggest fear with Grant is very aloof. He is the type, like, if anybody spills anything in the car, it will be Grant. If anybody makes a mess in the house, it will be Grant.
Like you're afraid he's going to shoot his foot off aloof, or you're afraid that he's just going to shoot early?
You just have to be very on the game when you're watching. Like Mason.
Like you can't drink 2 beers and take him.
Oh,
you have to be stone cold, like sober. So, I have to be on it.
So Mason is very, very process oriented. I could give him a list of 10 things to do in order to pull the trigger, and he will follow that list to a T.
And then come up with 2 extras.
And Grant, I could give Grant the same list of 10 things to do in order to pull the trigger.
Safety boom.
And Grant will pull the trigger while shouldering the gun and be like, oh, there was a list? Like, he's just that way. Like, it's just his personality. So
he gets that from Danielle.
Yeah, I don't know where he gets it from, but it's interesting, the dynamic difference between them. But
how was he when he was shooting it today, though? Was
he was good. He never had, he took
it serious.
Barrel direction with kids is always tough, like keeping the barrel in a safe direction.
Yes.
There were a couple of times where he had the barrel sitting on his tennis shoe. And I'm like, now granted, the breech is open, the safety's on, like it's full safe, but still, like
dude, bro.
Yeah. What happens if it's not safe?
Yeah, like you're missing 4 toes.
You're missing a foot. You know?
Well, even like in Hollywood too, I know people that even with like in Hollywood, even with the toy guns, people they'll keep that rigid thing of like.
Hey, you want to talk to Alec Baldwin about
unless you're Baldwin, you just want to shoot
How do you
somebody?
Get handed a gun and like literally, obviously, they're way heavier than like the toy guns they use.
Yeah. So rule number 1, and when that thing came out, everyone was like, "Dude, rule number 1 is no matter what." You never point a gun at someone.
Even if it's fake, even if you think it's fake,
even if you think it's fake, you don't point a gun at someone.
I've
pointed a gun at Mitch 75 times. I broke that rule.
I don't think you've ever pointed a gun at me.
He pointed a gun at me just a few podcasts ago. That one.
Well, this.
Yeah.
Okay,
this one's dangerous. This one cut the fuck out of me earlier.
That's just because you're an idiot.
But yeah, so
that's a fake replica gun. Everyone.
I told Grant, like you never close the breech, and you never take the safety off, and you never point that gun at anything unless you're ready for something to die. And so, like, he's following some of the basic rules, but he's still just, and he's small, and the gun's big, and all that stuff. So
yeah, rocked his ass.
But it'll be interesting. I haven't even seen it yet. I took a slow-mo video of him shooting it, so I gotta check that out.
The one of Mason when it was like in his, it's pretty bad. Like he looks like an idiot.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
So that was intentional with Mason. Mason's the type where you tell him how to do something, and he'll tell me I'm an idiot, and then he'll do it, and it'll hurt him, and he'll be like, "Okay, maybe you were right."
Man, wait for him. Heart.
He has to learn for his own. Whereas Grant needs to be like Grant wants to know everything about it before he actually does it. He wants to know how hard is it going to kick? What's it going to feel like? What's it going to do? Like where do I put? Mason has to learn on his own. So
that's exciting, though.
Yeah,
I hope he gets one.
So.
Hope he gets one this weekend.
Today's topic for the show.
Oh, yeah. Are we doing a show?
Yeah, we're actually going to do a show.
What do you want to talk about, Mitch?
Today's topic, usually we have 3 topics. We're going to spend the entire day today on one topic, and that is...
Our changing bodies.
Our changing... Dad, I'm getting hair in weird places.
I don't even know how to comment.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say about that.
We are going to talk about 15 uncomfortable truths about life.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, let me have it.
You ready for these?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, here are your 15 uncomfortable truths about life. Number 1, your salary is a drug that your employer gives you for you to forget your dreams.
Am I supposed to comment these, or are you just going to read these all off?
I'm just going to read them all off, and we can dive into them later.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Number 2, if you continue to wait for the right time, you'll waste your entire life, and nothing will ever happen. Number 3, even when you trust your close friends and family, let them know nothing about you. Number 4, you will lose 99% of your close friends when you start upgrading and leveling up your life. Number 5, The government and politicians are one giant scum that will never save you from your problems.
Amen. I've never agreed with anything more than that phrase.
The altar call is open.
Yeah. Number 6. You will be 10 times happier if you forgive your parents and stop blaming them for your problems. Number 7. Train yourself to let other people win arguments on purpose to conserve your mental health. Number 8. You become more mature when you train yourself to take nothing personally. Number 9. By age 25, your inner circle should be more focused on making money, building your body, and starting a family over anything else. Number 10.
Sorry.
Number 10. You don't need 100 self-help books. All you need is action and self-discipline. Number 11. Skills and financial education will make you win over 97% of college graduates. Number 12. You can't expect honesty from people who even lie to themselves. Number 13. People are stuck in toxic relationships because they're afraid to be alone. Number 14. The most difficult mission on earth is to focus on your dreams, and the easiest task is to complain. And number 15, the most important decision you will ever make is who you will have children with. So choose wisely. Those are your 15 uncomfortable truths about life.
I don't know if they're uncomfortable.
To some people they are.
Come on, let's get into it. Read me the first one. Let's just dude, 15's a lot.
So I look at these like you're going to hear all these, and you're going to think you're going to listen to 5 of them, and you're going to be like, that's bullshit. You're going to listen to 5 of them, and you're going to be like, I can kind of see it. And you're going to listen to 5 of them, and you're going to be like, damn straight, right? And the reason why is because there's 5 of those where you have a personal affinity, where you've been affected by 5 of those in your own life. And there's 5 where it's never affected you, so you have a hard time seeing it. And there's 5 where maybe you've seen friends affected by it, so you can kind of grab it, I guess. So, number 1, salary is a drug that your employer gives you to forget your dreams. I've got a couple opinions on it. What do you think?
I don't know. I think it's a reach. If a kid's working at McDonald's and he's 17, I don't buy that for 1 second.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's working that job not for his dreams, but to have spending cash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To maybe get his dream. Like when I was 18 and still in high school, I worked at Pizza Hut, and I got money. And then when I graduated, I bought a 30th anniversary Z28 Camaro.
Right.
Because I worked. So I don't buy that part of it. I will say I buy part of it as in you're 40 and your dreams are to retire early or 35, and you're thinking, okay, if I stay here, I can retire and get there. But man, if I wanted to run my own business, I think I could get there sooner and be happier. So I would buy that, but I don't ever blame an employer for me not chasing my dreams. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It is 100%. We even have talked about this on the show, and I may even contradict myself a little bit here about your employer is there to hold you back. I don't believe that.
No.
I believe they're trying to make their dreams come true, and for them to do that, they need to have people work for them. And if you're willing to work for a specific amount of money, that's on you 100%. Mm-hmm. You cannot blame your employer. Now, you can recognize that they may be not paying you enough. They may be holding you back because if you were on your own, you could be making this, so they incentivize you to stay. I buy all that a little bit, but really it comes down to the decision that you make and the decisions you make to move forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I take it very similarly. Like, okay, salary is a drug that makes you forget your dreams. It doesn't mean your employer is making you forget your dreams. The salary is.
Yeah,
right?
But it's said in the thing. Your employer gives you a salary.
Right.
And I wouldn't even say...
salary is the drug your employer gives you to forget your dreams. Now, that doesn't necessarily... I don't take that to mean your employer is trying to make you forget your dreams. What I take it to mean is that people allow a salary to make them forget their dreams. Salaries come from employers, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's just no way around the employer side of it. The employer is the one giving you a salary. That doesn't mean your employer has a malicious intent. What I think, where I take it is, people are in their comfort zone. You get a salary and you start to get comfortable, and you know the salary is always going to be there because your employer is always going to be there, so you're comfortable. And that's what allows you to forget your dreams, is your comfort.
Yeah.
And so the part where, like, okay, how do we blow that up? How do we make that not true? Well, learn how to be very smart with your money. There are a ton of millionaires who work. I would say probably most millionaires actually work for somebody else.
Yeah, they work for someone.
Right. And so they have found a way to blow that out. And what they're doing is they're being very smart with their money. They're living within their means, and they're putting a lot of it aside. They're investing it, and you can work for somebody else and get into like the real estate game. You can work for somebody else and get into, trading or whatever the case may be as like a side hustle. So, where I look at it is the salary is the drug. It's not necessarily the employer is giving you the drug. It just so happens that all salaries come from an employer.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that the employer is the bad person, like a drug dealer.
Yeah. And I will say that, some people, they kind of get caught up in that quandary of, I feel like, I've got this money, I'm getting a salary, I'm doing good, but I feel like I could be doing better. But then that same person needs that steady income.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Possibly.
They don't realize till later. We've talked about this on the show. I know people personally that have gone out on their own and made more money but been more miserable because they don't like the feeling of, I have to rely on myself 100%. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay? It's a 100% okay. If it doesn't mentally help you along with physically help you, you're not benefiting yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we've talked about on the show, if you're making good money and you're working for somebody, keep listening to the show, but, maybe your own business isn't for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't necessarily have to be on your own and be stressed out all the time. If you're making good money working for somebody and you're happy, be happy.
Right.
Make your money, make wise investment decisions, and just live your life.
Yeah. Or you're listening to this show and you're like, okay, I'm going to keep working for this guy because this is a really good gig and it pays my benefits, but I'm going to use this show to inspire me to start a side hustle.
Yeah, and still have that steady income.
Yeah, and we're not talking like doing side work. We're talking like, okay, maybe you're a plumber or electrician or an HVAC guy and you want to get into real estate. And so you're going to use this show to help you get yourself ready to get into real estate or whatever the case may be.
Maybe you want to do a podcast and you're thinking maybe a year down the road I'll be getting money, and then a year goes by and you're still not getting any money. And you're like, man, what the fuck is happening? But you just keep doing it because it's your buddy and you just want to keep on going. You just never know what the fuck's going to happen, right?
All right, number 2.
Sorry, go on. Number 2.
Don't wait for the right time. If you do, you'll waste your entire life and nothing will happen.
I agree with that 100%.
I do too.
I agree with that 100%. And that has nothing to do with business.
Yeah.
I mean, that is everything.
So
if you know in your heart you want to ask some girl to marry you, don't wait a year.
Yeah.
Get the fuck after it.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you know that you should be promoted or be managing 5 guys at your work, get after it. Go to your boss and say, hey, dude.
Some of the promotion stuff, like some of that's a timing thing, right?
Well, it
may be the right time for you, but if the position's not available in the company.
You can let me finish?
Yeah, go ahead.
go to your boss and say, hey, this is where I would like to see myself in 5 years. If that's not here, I'd like to know. If it is something you see me doing, tell me the direction to work.
There you go.
To get there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't wait around.
Right.
You know, if you think that you can make a real estate opportunity happen, don't wait. I'll give a great example right now of a huge failure in my life, I feel like now. So 15 years ago, my wife and I have been married 18. So it was probably 14 years ago. My father-in-law had a 10-acre farm for sale 2 hours north of here. All it was a deer hunting property. Mm-hmm. And he was going to sell it to us for like $250,000. I mean, cheap.
Yeah.
Right?
That's like $1,200 an acre.
He said, I'll owner finance it for you if you want. If you can't get finance and this, that, and, I was scared to death. I was like, we have a house payment now. That would be another $1,000 a month. Oh, we can't do it. We didn't do it. 4 years later, he ends up selling the farm, right? Now that property would be worth $5,000 an acre, or it would already be paid for. Huge, because I waited, because I was scared.
Yep.
And I'm not saying go out there and just do something crazy, but like I knew in my heart at the time, I was like, we should be doing this. We went up there, we walked it, we drove it, I think twice, 2 or 3 times. It's like, we should be doing this. Yeah. And then we didn't do it. Because I was scared to death that, I should have done it.
Yep. Yeah, for me, it was having kids. Like, my wife and I, we had many conversations before we even got married that we both want to have kids. And we want to have 2 kids. Like, we knew the number, we knew everything. Like,
what if you'd had twins the second time?
Well, then we would have dealt with that. I was actually hoping for twins the first time.
You gotta get rid of one.
We just one and done. Just get it over with.
My wife's a twin for everybody. Yeah. By the way, you don't want twins because they're psychotic.
Yeah. It's a good thing she doesn't listen, right?
My sister does have twins.
I'm not 100% sure she doesn't. I don't know what she does.
She has what are they called? Twins when they're born like 9 months apart. Irish twins, and then then actual twins. So like 4 kids under like 3.
Jeez, screw that.
Yeah, or stop.
Yeah, or stop.
What happened was the second kid it took them so long to get pregnant the first time. So like, well, we got to start now in order to have a second one, and then like instantly.
Right.
Like the second that you're super fertile after that.
Right. If I had twins the first time, it would be done. Like, I'd get clipped. Well, so I had my vasectomy scheduled before our second kid was born. I wanted to make sure he was born, came out with 10 and 10, and, everything like this legit. I've been thinking about
getting a vasectomy.
But I had my vasectomy scheduled before number 2 even came out. I
just feel like it's like I'm robbing myself.
No. That's the freedom, man. I look at it the other way. I'm like, I got the freedom to do
let's not dive into that. Right. Okay, number 3.
Number 3.
Move on.
Even when you... So I got to go back to my full notes here.
Can't take them anywhere, huh?
Yeah.
Dave?
No, I can't.
Even when you trust your close friends and family, let them know nothing about you. I can see this one 2 ways. Right?
I can see it one way. I don't tell anyone anything. Like Mitch doesn't know this about me because Mitch and I are extremely close. So... And I shouldn't say that. There are a ton of things
There's
about
a ton of
me
things, I don't know about you.
So, I mean, I tell no one anything.
Yeah.
Like, no one knows until this podcast, and not a lot of my close friends even know. They don't even know I do a podcast.
Right.
They have no idea.
Right.
They're like, oh, you do a podcast?
So,
yeah, me and Mitch. You and Mitch are doing people I've known for 30. You and Mitch are doing a freaking podcast?
So I haven't had
they don't even know.
I even had a conversation with Austin to say, like, I don't share a lot of our stuff about the podcast on my personal social media. Like, if our podcast is to be successful, it's going to be successful on its own, not because I'm, like, out there trying to pimp it every week on my social media. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I kind of get where that's coming from. Now, I will say this.
Let me ask you something. So why do you think... So, like, I agree with that statement. Why do you think that that's true?
So,
let me ask you that.
Well, I go 2 ways with it. One, my wife, there is absolutely nothing my wife and I keep from each other.
First off, your wife tells everyone everything about both of you.
Not really.
Dude,
we tell a lot of stories.
She on Facebook is every week. Oh, Mr. This. Oh, it's all the time.
So, we tell a lot of stories. However... Her and I have a lot of very deep conversations that nobody ever knows about, and it's just her and I.
Well, that's all husbands and wives.
And it should be that way, right?
Yeah.
That's a good marriage.
Yeah.
So, but
she does tell me a lot of pillow talk about you.
Well, I think too, like
conversations.
I think for me to think on like talking about your channel on your social media is that you kind of feel like you're cheating if you have to get on social media and like pimp your stuff sometimes.
No. So I've seen that from other sides of things. Like you have people that use their social media to sell their products all the time, and I freaking unfollow them or unfriend them. I'm like, I don't come to social media to have you sell me your shit. Stop. Like I go to social media to be entertained or to enjoy it, right? And so you can select who you follow for enjoyment. I don't come to social media so that every frickin' post I can see you making about trying to sell me fucking life insurance.
The cringiest is like whenever one of your friends becomes like a real estate agent, so his Instagram just gets turned into like, well, about to break on this new house, and you're just like, dude, like
third closing this week. Yeah, let's see where you are when the housing market crashes.
Have you noticed there's not a whole lot of that going on?
You see a lot of that.
I feel bad for my friends. Have you seen Jeremy Mercado post anything in a while? I haven't either. I'm a little worried about him.
Yeah, I need to check in on. He lost his lady. He and his lady split up.
Yeah, so. I know. And then he was like all bummed talking about. I don't want to air out all his dirty laundry. But he was talking about leaving and moving, to somewhere and starting new. And then I haven't seen him post anything for a while.
Yeah. So I mean,
he's all right.
And I'm not bashing on real estate agents, but
he was a lender, not a real estate agent.
You turn a lot of people off when all you do is post about shit that they may or may not be interested in. Like, how many houses am I going to buy in a couple of years? One, right?
You never know.
I mean, maybe. Well, but it's not because my friends posted it on social media.
Yeah.
Well, when you're out in public, it's like you don't really want to even be like a friend because you're just like, can we just like be friends and not like try to sell me a house or something? Or
yeah. So now another thing too is I think the main basis for that quote is we've talked about this in the early episodes of the show. Your friends and family are going to discourage you when you start your business because they care about you, and they're anchoring from a point of conservation and safety.
Well, not all of them, but yeah.
Right. And so they're going to be like, oh, I don't know if you should do that. Oh, that sounds risky and all that stuff. And they're discouraging you from starting your own business. They're holding you back, right? Yeah. So that's why you tell them nothing and then you let them see the results. I've seen this in my own life. The conversation that you and I had before the show about life insurance.
Yeah.
I had that conversation with my dad.
Was it the same that me and you had, or was it completely different?
No, it was completely different. It was a very much a very conservative, like, I don't think you need that much. That seems pretty expensive. I think you could do better things with that money and all this stuff.
That's what I said. In a different way.
Yeah, you were like... You were excited about the idea of investing in something, and you were challenging, is this the right investment?
That's true.
He's looking at it like, you don't need that much insurance. And all of that kind of stuff. And so, and it's, I mean, my dad's got a great heart and everything else. It's just...
It's different. It's different. We should probably have a conversation about this on another show, but the relationship between a son and his father as you get to the point where I don't want to say no longer need them, but when you get to the point where you have accelerated past them, is an interesting conversation to have.
Yeah.
Because I noticed it early on, like super early on, just because of other extenuating circumstances, and then you start taking everything they say a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And not in a bad way.
Well,
that's a very interesting conversation we should have sometime.
There comes a point. So for all the parents out there, especially if we have listeners to the show that have young kids, eventually your kids are going to figure you out. They're going to figure out exactly who you are.
Yeah.
So,
and that's your job. Your job is to educate them and teach them your mistakes so that when they get to a younger age than you were, when you realized you had passed your parents, that they are passing you.
Yes.
Like that is the curve that you want them to be on.
Yeah. And so, and it's not like the goal is to pass your parents. I mean, it kind of is. Maybe.
It is. It's 100%. Each generation
gets better than the previous.
Should be better. And if it's not better, the generation before you screwed up.
Yeah. So it's just if you're a shitty parent, your kids are going to know that eventually, right?
Someday they're going to know.
And if you are doing things a little shady, if you are not smart with your money, if you are behaving in a way that you shouldn't, if you're going out on your spouse, your kids see all that and they know all that, and they're going to catch up to that.
They're way smarter than you think.
Right. So,
damn, they're smart.
I mean, that's not even the topic of this show. However, that's kind of what they're talking about when they say keep things to yourself and don't tell anybody. And the reason why is nobody has your vision. Nobody knows how dedicated you are other than you. And nobody knows how committed you are other than you. And nobody knows how well thought out you have your plan other than you.
Yeah.
So the moment you tell anybody, they're going to try to shoot holes in your theory, not intentionally, not because they want to pull you down, but because they think they're looking out for your best interest.
Or falsely build you up because they have put you on a pedestal. It can go both ways.
It totally could go both ways. You're right. So that's why it's best to stay quiet, and then all of a sudden they're going to... You don't even have to tell them the results. They're going to see the results.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not a rubbing in your face. It's not like, oh, you see me driving a nice car. Oh, you see me buying a nice house and all this stuff. They're just going to come to know that, wow, you really did have it all figured out. That's pretty cool.
Well, first off, no one has it all figured out.
God,
but yes, those small things that you were so passionate about.
Right.
Oh, man, he made that happen.
Right.
Or she made that happen.
Number 4, you'll lose 99% of your close friends when you start upgrading your life. I can see this. I can think of one.
I mean, I'll just give a weird example. Like, I don't... Man, this is really weird for me. I don't have a lot of close friends anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But I will say, I hadn't thought about that until you said that. I thought I was going to be like, I don't have any close friends, who cares? But you know what? When I got married, that is 100% true.
Yeah. The marriage was an upgrade.
Of course. You know me better than anyone. Of course it was.
I've seen your wife. It was definitely an upgrade.
It was an upgrade. It was an upgrade spiritually, mentally, like, she is the one person that probably saved my life.
Yeah.
Like, Mitch knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
She's I mean, without her, I'd probably be in a fucking gutter somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that statement might be 100% right for me.
No, it's...
I went from... And it wasn't just a click of a light switch, but I will say that over those first 67 years, like, literally there was just a decline.
Yeah.
And you know, I had always kind of thought, I got married, so I just kind of quit hanging out. You know, I'm spending more time with my spouse.
So that's the stereotype.
You might be right.
Yeah.
You might be right. Like, I realized, okay, this is like an enlightening moment for me right now. Like, I realized maybe subconsciously, okay, I am at liftoff here.
Yeah.
I'm leaving the rest of this behind, and just didn't know it until literally right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel really weird at this very moment.
No, so for you, it wasn't a conscious upgrade of your life. You were just working in the right direction that you felt was right.
It just happened to be that way.
There are listeners to this show who are wanting,
mind fucking blown right now.
There are listeners to this show who are wanting to start their own business. They're wanting to upgrade their life. They're realizing that their friends are always getting in trouble. They're always out at the bars. They're always having, problems at work because they have bad attitudes and all that, and they're wanting to upgrade their life. Well, the uncomfortable truth is they are no longer your friends the moment you start doing this, because the moment you start making a commitment to better your life, you're making a commitment to stay away from those people. You are the sum of the 5 closest friends you have. So if you want to be a millionaire, you need to start hanging out with people that are wealthier than you.
Or on the same path as you.
Right. So it doesn't, like, let's say you're a thousandaire right now, right? Let's say you're pretty much living paycheck to paycheck. Maybe you got $5,000 in the bank. Okay? That's a thousandaire. Well, it's going to be really difficult for a thousandaire to hang out with a millionaire. However, you can hang out with a 50,000aire. You can hang out with somebody who's got 50 grand in the bank. You can hang out with somebody who's got 20 grand in the bank, right? They're 4 times better than you if you got 5 grand in the bank. So you can start hanging out with those people. And then as you matriculate through life, you're going to start changing. Now, maybe your $20,000 friend maybe he's growing too, right? And you're kind of growing together. Or maybe your $20,000 friend is just kind of stuck there. And so you hang out with him for a while, and then he kind of moves out of your life as you move on to hanging out with a $100,000 friend, and then a $500,000 friend, and so on. So,
is that why we've been hanging out a lot more last year?
Well, yeah.
He's finally caught up to Dave.
No, I will say, like, it sounds completely superficial and shitty. And I do still talk to, like, my old friends that...
It's not superficial.
No, I said it sounds superficial.
Okay.
And I still talk to those people, and I still love those people, and but I mean, and it's a small... It's a not even 5 people that I'm talking about. People that I'm really close with. And I still talk to them. I haven't just, cut everybody off. But, as you say that, and I think about it, it's really true.
Yeah. I've got a really good friend of mine, and I don't know if he listens to this show or not.
So are you telling me that if you get rich and I just stay on my straight plane, we're not going to talk anymore?
Maybe.
God damn.
Don't worry,
you better
Dave.
level it up, dude.
The Austin Dave podcast.
To go,
It's gonna be Austin Dave podcast.
So I've got
just kidding.
some friends of mine that my wife and I used to hang out with like all the time.
Do I know him?
Probably. And the moment we started making solid commitments to start the business and do a lot better and not just, work for an employer the whole time and all that stuff, we naturally gravitated away from him. And it wasn't this conscious thing of like, you are holding me back, so I am pulling away from you. It was that I became so passionate and so dedicated about this new venture that I just didn't have time for that anymore.
Yeah. It was just a natural occurrence.
Yeah. And so I still message him from time to time. We still hang out from time to time and everything else. And when we hang out, it's just like old times. It's having fun. It's just... You tend to migrate away from
your
that.
Your priorities shifted. You didn't have extra free time to be jacking around.
Yeah. Now, the difference there is that couple, they weren't hurting us, but they weren't helping us, right? Now, there are people in some of our listeners' lives, there are people in your life that are definitely hurting you, and you need to migrate away from them. And it is a very intentional shift of I'm going to talk to you less.
It's not just an intentional shift. It's a very difficult shift sometimes.
Yes, it can be.
It can be extremely difficult. Let's just say it how it is. Mitch is very... Like, I am a very emotionally attached. I've cried on the show before.
Yep.
Okay, that's how I am.
Yep.
Mitch isn't like that. Mitch is more of an analytical person. It's easier for him to say, I'm not going to deal with these people. We're moving on.
Right.
Like, for me, it's harder. I would find it very difficult to do that to certain people.
Yeah.
Not everybody, but certain people. So it can be a very hard thing for people to grasp and deal with because they just aren't emotionally able to do it. Yeah. I'm one of those people.
Well, so we'll get to it once we get to number 13, people that are stuck in toxic relationships because they're afraid to be alone. It's the same thing, right?
Yeah,
like, it doesn't mean toxic spouse. It could be toxic friendship.
Yeah.
It could be toxic parenting.
All right, next we've been on this topic forever. We'll get on to the next one.
Number 5.
What do you got?
The government is scum that will never save you from your problems.
Amen. Hallelujah. We on to the next one.
Yep.
Yeah,
pretty self-explanatory,
the problem
right?
is, we've talked about this on the show all the time. There need to be term limits, okay? Everyone's afraid, then it'll go out. But no, you stage it like everything else. Every 2 years, you change out 33%. It's not a big deal. You change.
There is no form of government that will ever not be scum.
No, the 100% problem is people believe, I don't want to get too far into the weeds here, but people think that they can get rid of religion and then government is their religion. And then they basically rely on government for everything, for money, for healthcare, for, just everything. Listen, people, government is a fucking scam.
Yeah.
Okay? You do not need the government to tell you what to do or how to do it or when to shit or when to eat or where to go wait in line for water or where to go wait in line for bread. Stop pretending and voting for them to control your lives. Okay? You know what drives me insane? In the hippies of the 60s and 70s, didn't want government. Now the same hippies want huge government.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
You want less government. You know, the Democrat Party used to be the party of the working class people, and now it's completely shifted.
It's flipped.
Now, if you vote Republican, you're from the working class.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing how that shift has happened in the last 20 years.
They're just pandering for votes is all they're doing.
Yeah. Stop relying on them.
Yep.
What should happen is every time that someone new should be elected, you should. I wouldn't do this, but if there's a Democrat in now, vote Republican. If there's a Republican in, vote Democrat.
Yeah.
And keep them all on their heels,
keep them on their toes,
all the freaking time because they're worthless.
Yeah.
House members make $174,000 a year to do fucking nothing.
Right.
To do nothing.
Right.
We are paying for them to have a Peloton bike in their home and paying for their membership.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
We can't feed the homeless in this country, and these people are milking us for millions.
And have you seen most House members? They look like they haven't set foot on a Peloton in 20 years.
No, they're chaining their dog to it so their dog can get exercise so their fat ass don't have to go outside in the winter.
Right.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
They put masks in their dogs.
I'm so mad right now. I literally want to snap this table in half.
I used to be fairly invested in politics and all that stuff, and I've gotten away from it because it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter how passionate you are about politics or I am about politics.
No, but it matters how bad they're screwing your eyeballs out.
Yeah, that totally matters.
I'll come across this table and snap your neck.
Yeah.
I'm just
that totally matters. However, we're all given the same set of rules to play by, and it's our job to win with those set of rules. That's all it is. So
I agree with that. The problem is it's when you're running to the finish line and you're there and then they move the finish line.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
And if you're not aware and you're not voting for what's going on, no matter how hard for us, we've been working so hard for so long that we're at the top. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean 1% to, we're in the top 15% of the country, right? And we don't even make that. But let's be honest, we don't make that much money. It doesn't take
much to make it in the top 15.
No, it doesn't.
Right.
But even there, if we were to stay right here and plateau right here in 20 years, we wouldn't be making it.
Right.
That's the real problem.
Right. All right.
Got me all fired up for no fucking reason.
Number 6. You'll be 10 times happier if you forgive your parents and stop blaming them for your problems.
I don't blame my parents for my problems.
I don't have anything to forgive my parents for, right? Like, my parents were pretty good. There's frustrations that I have with them, but that's more, they're just, it just is what it is. But
I wish that they would have made me go to college and paid for my college. But then at the same time, I think, would I have been any better off?
See,
maybe not. So I don't blame, you know what I mean? I don't blame them for that.
Yeah. So I was,
maybe I wish my dad hadn't been married 4 times.
I was paying for...
My mom's dead now, so,
I was paying for most of my college, and I'm glad. Because I look at it the other way, like, I'm glad my parents weren't paying for my whole college because I would have wasted 4 or 5 years because I wasn't having to be responsible for that money.
Well, and that's what I meant by would it have done me any good?
Right.
So I don't blame them or hold it against them that I did, that they didn't. Mm-hmm. I just wish that I could have had that experience. Maybe that's not really on them, but more on me because I could have probably done it.
Yeah. Now there are a lot of people out there who have committed their life to resigning themselves to the position they're in because their parents screwed them. That's where that one speaks to. That one speaks to the person who's like, well, I'm not really making it in life because my parents didn't really prepare me for life, and this person's 37 years old.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my God. I have a huge stat for you. I was listening to the Ramsey show today, and they said, there aren't enough workers out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are 7 million Americans in this country, men, I'm going to call them boys, 7 million boys between 25 and 40 that are not working.
Yeah, I believe it.
Because they don't want to work.
Yeah.
And they are either sucking money off of mom and dad or friends or welfare or whatever, but the majority of, I think it was like 90% of them are able-bodied, 25 to 40, not worried, 7 million people.
Yeah.
And it goes just to this topic right here.
In the same stat, there's a very popular thing floating around social media right now, and it shows a Starbucks employee sitting on the ground up against one of the coolers crying, and somebody's consoling them. And this whole post is talking about how as we get near the holidays, everyone's busy and you need to respect your fast food workers and all of this shit. And I 100% disagree with that post. Obviously, I'm not advocating to disrespect fast food employee workers. But the post is not about respecting workers. The post is literally written to give them allowance to underperform.
Lazy. Yeah, or be on their phone in the back instead of making fucking coffee.
Right. It's basically saying, like, I need you to be okay with me underperforming, and this whole post is because it's not okay for you to have standards of me. Is really what it is. Like, people don't just go off the handle because people make honest mistakes. People go off the handle because the person on the other side of the fast food counter is being intentionally lazy. They're being intentionally selfish, or they're being intentionally entitled, or whatever the case may be. That's why people go off the handle, and that's why I disagree with that post, because it is not about just being nice. People aren't naturally mean. People aren't naturally walking into Starbucks expecting to chew somebody out.
Yeah,
so
if you go into Starbucks, which I will never, and I think Starbucks is a complete joke. I'm not paying fucking $24 for a cup of coffee. I can make it home for 10 cents. But if you go in somewhere and it's the holiday season, okay, and you're buying gifts and the line is 15 long, but the lady at the counter is busting her ass, or man, and he's, boop, 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 and we're just getting through. Okay, I just got to deal with it. But if they're up there like, boop, boop,
if you're doing a shit-ass job, you're going to hear about it.
And you're literally, like, just being a complete lazy turd. You're going to hear about it. And you know what? Back in the day, you didn't have to hear about it from the customers because your boss would come out there and be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Let's go. But now it's like, oh, you can't do that because Sally Joe might...
HR might have a problem with it.
It might force her into her period. I mean, it's freaking insane. There's one of the animated shorts, I go off on a rant about... people in this country, we're just raising a bunch of pussies.
That's literally that post. It's enabling pussyism. It's really what it is.
Everybody's a bunch of wusses, and we're just got to be okay with that. No. That's the downfall of humanity. Where is the personal accountability? Where's the want to get out there and do it? And, I don't, you said blaming parents for stuff, and I don't blame mine personally because, frankly, I'm a go-getter, you know. But all of these parents that are basically, I guess my parents' generation, your parents' generation, they have fucked this whole thing up because, and maybe just a little bit younger than them, because they want to coddle these kids and give them everything, and they don't want to let them have to, everyone gets a trophy. We can't let them... go through any type of pain. Well, this is what happens. Now you got to bitch in the back crying at Starbucks because someone said, hurry the hell up. What am I going to do? It's freaking insane. Okay, it's insane. Get off your ass and do something with your life.
The successful people bust their ass. If you aren't successful, then start busting your ass.
And don't go to the government and say, oh, can I have some money because I'm too lazy and too dumb to do something. Well, it's your parents' fault. Okay, I don't know what to tell you. They raised you with no values and no grit. You basically have no gravel in your craw to get after it.
But at the same token, stop... forgive your parents and stop blaming them. Like, you're an adult. Figure it out.
I don't think they're blaming their parents. I think they're too stupid to know that it's their fault.
Figure out that maybe your parents didn't give you the best shake in life, but now you're an adult and you can figure it out. That's all there is to it.
For me, a hard lesson was whenever I was sick and expected to get out of mowing the lawn, but my dad still made me go out and mow the lawn when I was sick. That was like the first foray into tough luck.
Get after it, bro.
Guess what? When you're an adult... and you're sick, your lawn still needs mowed, you're either going to have to do it yourself or pay somebody else to do it.
You
There's
got
no
the
other
money?
option.
You got the money? Well, no. Well, then you better get your fat ass out there and get the yard mowed.
Right.
I
mean, different than when it snows and your driveway needs shoveled. You either have to do it yourself when you're sick or pay somebody to do it.
First off, I shoveled my driveway for the first 10 years of us being married. We got 4-wheel drive. Fuck that. Nothing gets shoveled anymore. Yeah. Now, I will say, I used to have to shovel a spot in the backyard for Levi to take a leak because he wouldn't pee in the snow and he tried to pee on my carpet and I was pissed. Yeah. So I will do that. Yeah. But that's it.
All right, number 7. This one speaks to the heart of me.
What do you got?
Train yourself to let other people win arguments.
I don't do that, and I don't care about any of that. If you can't handle... when I win an argument or argue with someone, it does not hinder me in any way.
So where this comes from...
You know what I mean?
So where this comes from, I think, in this day and age, and you called me out on it a couple of shows ago.
Oh, I did? Ooh, I like this. I like where this is going.
Yeah.
You've got people that are wasting large amounts of time arguing over the internet to people that they'll never meet and they never need to satisfy for any reason whatsoever.
Yeah, who cares?
And so they're choosing to get into internet arguments, and it's just a massive time suck, and it's a massive waste of time, and it's dragging them down emotionally.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what do you get if you win? Nothing. What do you get if you lose? Nothing. What do you get if you stay silent? Your time, and that's worth everything.
Yeah.
Right? So that's something I've actively been working on over the last few years, is to try to only do things on social media that benefit me.
Yeah.
And it's still a work in progress.
And when you say it, and when you read that, see, that's what it's so crazy. We're so alike and so different. I don't even think of social media because I just do not get in fights on social media because I don't give a shit.
Right.
Now, if it's on a job site or something like that, or if we're at a bar and I've had 3 beers and someone argues with me, I'll get in their shit.
Yeah.
But that's different I think this is more of...
I think what this is saying is like, don't ever argue with a pig because you both get muddy and in the end nobody will know who won.
Cast your pearls before swine, like in the Bible.
What's that?
It's like in the Bible talks about casting your pearls before swine. Like, don't get into arguing with the pig, essentially, or someone who's...
Or you become a pig.
Yeah, or the person
That's exactly what Mitch said.
Yeah, the outsiders don't know who's winning and you're both slopping around in the mud type of thing.
Yeah, they're laughing at you because you're both idiots.
Yeah. So that, I think that's where it's talking about, is letting other people win. Is like, okay, let the idiot win the argument. Like, big fucking deal. Yeah. You know you're right.
Yeah, when I get home to my big ass fucking house, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like, when that guy gets back to his trailer, he'll have won an argument. Yeah, it just doesn't matter.
Right.
On to the next. What do you got?
Number 8.
I like this show.
Maturity comes when you don't take things personally. I wholeheartedly agree with this. We see this dynamic.
Read that one more time.
Maturity comes when you don't take things personally. So where we see this in real life,
I'm trying to.
We could separate our customer group by ages. The older the customers we have, the more direct and to the point they are over the phone or in person, and it comes off like they're mean.
They just know what they want.
They just know what they want, and they're vocalizing it. They're not beating around the bush.
Yeah.
Right? They're okay saying, I don't like that price. Or they're okay saying, I don't like your attitude. Rather than beating around the bush and getting cold-shouldered and kind of clamping up and closing down a little bit, the older person, the mature person, they're going to flat out say, I don't like your attitude. I don't like the way you're talking to me. Right? Now, we don't get that a ton, but I'm just saying.
It's just an example.
It's just an example of how an old person will say that. Whereas somebody in their 20s or 30s, they'll be like, I don't know, maybe I need to talk to my husband, and they'll come up with all these dodgy answers because they don't want to just flat out tell you that they don't like the way you're speaking to them.
I must come off like I'm 70 years old because I literally...
You got some wisdom on you, that's for sure.
I don't know if it's wisdom. But that's how I am.
Yeah. So don't take things personally, and you'll be more mature because of it, right?
So what you're saying is when an old person says to you, hey, I don't like that price, for you to be mature, you need to not take it personally.
Don't take it personally. It's not they're not saying I don't like you.
Yeah.
They're just saying I don't like the price.
Yeah.
So either build more value or reduce the price.
Yeah, I probably agree with that.
A lot of people they take their arguments and it's like their identity. Like if you disagree with me, you're denying.
I mean, I'll die on some hills, but in general, I don't. I like, you know what? Okay.
Yeah.
And, it doesn't really, it just rolls off. I don't really.
Right.
But there are some things I will, admit another stupid thing on the show. I mean, sometimes I will literally stand and be like, no, we're going to battle to the death right now on this topic.
Well, that goes back to letting people win arguments, right?
Well, the thing is, the whole casting probably 3-4 swine thing, that goes to say, like, if you're in an argument with someone who their objective is just to be a troll and just to get you to, like, bump. So that's where it's like, don't even engage in an argument with someone whose their main goal is just to, like, give you.
I mean, if you stand back and think about it, you take somebody who's very pro-abortion and somebody who's very anti-abortion. They could argue until they're blue in the face with each other, and nobody's ever going to change anybody's mind.
Well, it's because people that are... You know what? I'm not even going to say anything.
I'm just saying, like, that's just what it is. Like, so you're wasting your time, right? You're slopping in the mud with pigs. Number 9. At 25 years old, your inner circle, your closest friends, should be focused on making money, building your body, and making a family.
What the fuck does building your body mean?
So what that means is...
What the fuck does that mean? Building your body at work?
No.
Or like I should be working out.
So...
Because at 25, I was fucking yoked, and I didn't work out at all.
So I have... It's weird. I used to be heavily involved in the local car scene around here, right?
Not at 25.
Not at 25. No, I was like 35 at
Mitch
this,
was racing motorcycles at 25.
No. I'm saying at 35, I was heavily involved in the car scene.
But the question's saying 25.
I understand. But...
We'll
the car scene is littered with 25-year-olds, 20 to 25-year-olds, right? Now, one thing I noticed about a lot of these 20 to 25-year-olds are they're spending every dime they have on cars. They're spending every dime they have left over on modifying those cars. They're all very obese. They're all very unhealthy. And they're all, like, when the weather's not right for cars, they're all out partying and getting drunk and getting smashed. So... And they're not focused on family. They're not focused on finding a partner and settling down and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not bashing the car scene by no means. It was just, that was my view into the 10-year younger generation. I was 35. Most of these people were 20 to 25. And I'm seeing...
fat guys want to go fast too, man.
I get it. But so that was my biggest exposure to that group. Now, I'm sure there's plenty of other... niches for that group other than the car scene. However, what I see where this is coming from, so those close groups of friends, they were not focused on making money. They were focused on spending every dime they had on cars. They were not focused on building their body unless it was like building it to a certain size of fat, because a lot of them are very, very obese. And then none of them were focused on family. So it just... it is what it is in that age group. So
I will say, if you want to build wealth in this country and want to do it the easiest way, you start early.
Yes.
You start at, even if you're not looking to get married, you start when you're either out of high school or right out of college.
Yes.
You start, I've said it a million times on this show, you start by putting money away for your retirement as soon as you humanly can.
Yeah.
As soon as there is any money. And what you shouldn't be doing is spending 20% of your income on things that make you happy.
Guilty.
I
mean, I'm
No, we'll get into you in a second.
So
that's not true. Because when you were that age, you bought a house first.
Yeah.
And then you had a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't being 100% foolish with my money, but I was also not focused on building wealth.
No, you weren't. You were not.
I was semi-responsible, but incredibly irresponsible.
Yeah.
Right?
And I mean, it immediately when Janine and I got married, that was our number one goal. Was, okay, we got to find a house that we can get into reasonably. So start building wealth that way. And then every dime that we can, not every dime, but, more than minimum that can go towards retirement later, we're doing that now.
Right.
Because you can't outrun time.
Nope.
You know what I mean? And if you start early, then time can't outrun you.
Right.
You know, when you start putting that chunk of money away at 22, when you get to be 52, it's a big ass chunk of money.
Yeah.
And you've literally done nothing but squirrel away a little at a time.
Yeah.
And people bitch, I can't with that $100 and that $150 and that. Well, guess what? When you get to be 45, that $100 a month, that ain't shit anymore.
Right.
And if you have to have, I don't know the right word. You have to have the discipline to do it, and you have to be able to make yourself do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you just have to. And if you get to 27, 28 and you're not doing it, you're already behind. If you get to 35, you're way behind. If you get to 45, you are fucked.
Yeah. And that's where this is highlighting is
yeah,
at 25.
I mean, I agree. I agree with the statement 100%.
And it's not saying you. Like, this is what I like about this. It's not saying you are focused on making money, building your body, and building your family. Your inner circle. So this is you and the closest people that you hang out with. You can't do it alone. You can't save money alone. If you are trying to save money, but your 4 closest friends are all the time pulling you out on the weekends into the bars and everything else and spending all your money, it ain't going to work. You and your inner circle should be focused on making money, building your body, and building your family.
I will.
And so the building your body thing, I think, is key. Today, literally today, Joe Rogan dropped a show today where he's talking with Steve-O. Okay? Steve-O's actually pretty smart. It's kind of fun to listen to.
Yeah, he's really smart. Yeah.
He's not smart. He's wise.
Yeah.
Because he's done a lot of dumb shit.
He's earned a lot of wisdom, right?
You know what? That's how I got my wisdom.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of dumb shit.
Steve-O pointed out something that I've never even considered before. He said, you know what? You see a lot of really, really old smokers. But you never see really, really old fat people.
That's true.
It's absolutely true. That's why at 25 your focus should be on building your body, right? How many people, they put on the freshman 15, and then by the time they graduate college, they've already got the beer gut. And then it's become so much of a habit that by 30, it's just who they are. And they'll literally spend 15 years trying to change their identity from a fat guy, right?
Yeah.
That's why it's not necessarily trying to say that at 25 you need to be a bodybuilder. It's saying building your body. In other words, learning how to care for your body.
Well, and not
this
even,
is the only vessel we got.
Well, and not necessarily building your body, but be conscious of what you're doing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Make a conscious decision of, hey, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I will say just to play devil's advocate, you know, having all your friends being towards building wealth. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with that. I mean, I don't think any of my friends were doing, like, you weren't, you know, socking money away for the future.
No, but just imagine where we would be if we were at 25.
Oh, you and Danielle?
No, you and me.
What do you mean?
If our closest circle of friends at 25 was focused on building wealth.
That's one of those things you can't blame your parents because you didn't go to college because you don't know what could have happened.
I'm not blaming them.
No, I'm just saying you can't say that as a definitive thing. I mean, maybe some of the people that I used to hang out with took my example and ran with it. You know what I mean? And if I had cut them out of my life, maybe they wouldn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe instead of viewing myself as at the bottom tier, I'm viewing myself as I was at the top of that tier.
Possibly.
And maybe I had inspired some people. You know what I mean? And I'm just playing devil's. I'm not saying one way or the other there, but, you know, it's something to think about.
This one also speaks to the heart of me.
Which one are we on?
Number 10.
Okay.
You don't need self-help books. You need action and discipline.
Oh, my God. I'm going to say it right now. You go to way too many stupid conferences. You listen to way too many fucking, I got to have my mentors, and I got to have this, and I read too many fucking self-help books. That's you.
Yep. That's why I said this one speaks to the heart of me.
I don't, it doesn't help me in the least. I don't need any of that bullshit.
Right.
You know what I mean? I know what my goal is.
Mm-hmm. So and you know what it takes to get there.
And so despite what anyone else says, I mean, I know what it's going to take. Now, some people need that constant encouragement, And I get that, and I don't think any less of Mitch for doing those things. I just think that I don't need those things. You know what I mean? So in my mind, I'm thinking Mitch is wasting his time. But you know what? It could benefit him wholeheartedly. I don't know.
So because I don't need it. When I made the decision to join Apex, it was because it is action oriented. It's not all of this fluff and bullshit. And Apex even has some of its own events where it is a lot of like rah-rah BS. And I don't need the rah-rah BS. I need the tactical application shit. Like, if I'm going to fly to Dallas for the weekend and sit in a 2-day conference, I don't want to sit in a 2-day conference with a fucking cheerleader. I want to sit in a 2-day conference with somebody who's been where I am and knows how to get past the struggles that I'm in right now. And then I'm going to sit and take notes, and I'm going to learn from that, right?
And I get that, but what I think with you specifically, just because I've known you for so long, so I'm going to bust your stones a little bit here. Mm-hmm. I personally don't think you need that.
It's arguable.
I look at you, and I see what you've done, and I see what you're doing, and then I mean, I can see it. You don't need that. Yeah. You don't need someone to be you need. I don't know if you need anything. I think you need to just stay focused and be moving in the direction you're moving.
You'll love this.
I think you have a little bit of self-doubt. And I think sometimes that you need some of that stuff. I don't. And listen, I don't know if I'm 100% right.
No. So what you're hitting on is, there's a lot of times where I could go a couple of ways, and you're literally looking for the validation to go the right way. It's not like you're looking for this person to provide the right answer to you. It's you're looking for them to validate the several options you've come up with, right? Yeah.
Well, I'm validating you, Mitch. Take your option and go with it. You got it figured out, bro.
I will say this. My business grew more before I joined Apex than after. Now, that doesn't mean Apex is holding me back. It means that I came to a natural hurdle, and then I was looking for some resolutions with it. So,
and I'm not saying you should be doing it or shouldn't be doing it. My opinion is you don't need it.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Some people...
Andy Frisella refers to those people as success zombies. They will go to seminar to seminar to seminar after seminar, and they get inspired, and then a week later it's like they're not doing anything with their inspiration, not doing a single thing, right? Now, I'm actually I'm at the level now where it's a lot... I'm not giving myself an excuse here. Making change now happens a little bit slower than it used to.
Well, it has to because you're bigger.
Yeah. And so, I can still affect how fast it happens, but, realizing that we need a new CRM in our company because the current CRM we're just outgrowing it. Well, I'll be damned if I'm going to change CRMs and settle on the next one. Like, the next one we get has to do everything on my boxes. It has to check every single box.
Yeah.
And so it's going to take me a minute to switch, but when I switch, it's going to be like a light switch. Mm-hmm. Like, we're just going to pull the trigger and it's going to fucking happen. So, things like that.
Gotcha. What else you got?
Number 11, and I love this one. Skills and financial education will make you win over 97% of college graduates, and it is absolutely 100% true.
Read that again without your extra bullshit on it, please.
Skills and financial education will make you win over 97% of college graduates.
What if your college graduate was in financial education?
They're using skills and they're using financial education to win. Most college graduates don't use their skills, and they don't use any sense of financial education.
Yeah.
So they don't win. They literally went to college as like a scapegoat for, this will provide me success.
Yeah.
And they're really just a better trained honeybee.
Yeah, what's your degree in?
Liberal arts.
Advanced American literature.
Or the people that'll stay in the college system where they don't have to face life. They just keep going back and back and back. And
yeah, they become like a TA.
Yeah. I agree with that 100%. Next.
Yep.
I mean, I have nothing.
There's no talking on that.
I agree with it 100%.
Yeah.
If you have skills in this country and you have common sense, it's a little different from that. If you have common sense, financial awareness, and you're a go-getter, there's nothing holding you back.
Yeah, it plays on the previous one. You don't need self-help books. You need action and self-discipline.
Yeah.
Skills, And financial education, action and self-discipline, and you're going to win, right?
Next.
Number 12.
Next.
You can't expect honesty from people who lie to themselves. So this is true.
Duh.
However, the hard thing with this one is identifying who's lying to themselves, right? So you have to. The easiest way I do this is I listen more than I talk.
It's so weird, though. I mean, are you talking about family members, friends, customers?
Anything.
It could be a lot of things.
So, family members, you're close enough to them. You can see when they're lying to themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, if you have a family member that says, I'm trying to get my life together, and they've been telling you that for 8 years, they're lying to themselves.
Yeah.
Right? So you can't, it's just plain and simple. You can't expect honesty from that person.
Yeah, we're talking, I guess, so this is really about close relationships.
Customers.
People that affect your life on a daily basis.
Customers. I'll give you a prime example. Hoarders.
Oh, man.
When you go to the door...
and it's a 1-foot path that weaves in and out of everything because the magazines are stacked up 4 foot tall.
Hoarders will always open the door and kind of block your view with their body for a minute. And they'll say, I'm sorry I haven't had a chance to clean this week. And then they open the door and you realize they haven't cleaned in 15 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Janine does that, and then it opens the door and the house looks like it was built yesterday.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, what do you, babe? She's in there vacuuming. I'm trying to watch the football game. I'm like, Jeannie, you vacuumed yesterday. Yeah. Can you please fucking stop for 5 minutes?
So all it is, it's literally just that superficial that the moment you recognize somebody is lying to themselves, you cannot expect them to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So you have to handle that person differently.
And that's service industry. Let's be honest. I didn't even think about it when you read it. That's service industry 101.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's reading someone.
Well, that's anybody,
how they
right?
are.
Let's say your boss lies to themselves. Oh, we do the best quality ever, and then you actually watch your boss being like, "Just get it done. I don't care what it looks like." Okay. Right there, you saw your boss lying to himself.
Yeah.
So now it's hard to expect honesty from your boss.
Yeah.
Right? Number 13. People are stuck in toxic relationships because they are afraid to be alone. That's a hard one to elaborate on because it is just so direct and so 100% accurate. We've seen it time and time again. We've watched other people in toxic relationships, friendships, spouses, marriages. Doesn't matter.
I hope Ryan Farrell doesn't listen to this podcast. Because, when we were in our 20s, that was him.
Yeah.
You know what, though? They stuck it out.
They stuck it out. I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a while. I don't know where he's at now. But, there's a lot of people that are like that.
Yeah.
And so you can literally see it. They're stuck there because they're afraid to be alone.
Yeah.
So if that's you, don't focus on fixing your relationship. Focus on being unafraid to be alone.
Or focus on fixing yourself. Because when you fix yourself and you realize, oh man, this is because I'm afraid of being alone.
Yeah.
You have fixed yourself. I am no longer afraid to be alone. You fixed yourself. You're out of that relationship.
Or the moment you're no longer afraid to be alone, it opens your mind to see what it will take to fix the relationship. The moment you have the path to leave and then you choose not to.
That's a good point.
That was my wife and I before we ever got married.
And then, you know what? That could have been Ryan, too.
Yeah. So, before my wife and I got married, we dated very seriously, and then we broke up, and we were, out.
Oh, please.
She had her own place and everything.
Please. It was 3 weeks.
It was, however...
It was 3 fucking weeks. We're out. It's a year, 6...
So we spent...
3 fucking weeks.
We spent months staying together and arguing with each other daily because we were afraid to be alone. And the moment we became okay with being alone and we had our own separate places, it gave us the clarity to realize that we wanted to be together. But until we had that clarity and being okay to be alone, we were so afraid to be alone that we just kept staying together and fighting.
Yeah.
So,
and a lot of people are afraid to be alone.
Yeah.
I personally cannot relate to it because it doesn't bother me in the least.
I'll go to dinner by myself. I don't care.
Yeah. It literally, it doesn't bother me. Like when I was young, I didn't give a shit. I could be 21 years old and be like, I'm going out tonight. And I'd go get dinner at the bar by myself. I'd make 3 friends at the bar. I mean, it literally, none of that crap has ever... When Janine and Layla go out of town, I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
fucking 3 days of peace.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Do I miss them? Of course, I'm not.
Right.
I love them. But no, I am not afraid to be alone. My dad, scared to death to be alone.
Right.
To this day, I think.
Yeah.
He's got another girlfriend now.
Huh.
Yeah. Huh. Is the right answer. Huh.
Yeah.
Like, dude, what are you doing?
I've told Danielle time and time again that if we ever were to work out, like I'd just be alone. Like, I don't... Like,
if Janine died or something, I'd get a hooker, keep her on retainer, and that's it.
So, yeah,
that's it.
The joke is I'd have a live-in nanny, and it would just...
Oh, no, I don't need I don't want anyone helping me take care of my daughter. I'm on my own.
Well, that's the joke.
Oh, gotcha.
That's been the joke since the kids were 2.
Yeah.
I'd have a live-in nanny, and she's like, the kids are 10 or 11 and 13. You don't need a nanny. I'm like, bet your ass I do.
Nanny's for me, bitch.
You'd be like making passes at her like every week.
No, it's not a pass. She's a hooker. He just calls her a nanny.
It's not a pass. It's a live-in nanny that doesn't sleep in the spare bedroom. What are you talking about?
First off, she does sleep in the spare bedroom. I want my night's sleep.
Oh, there you go.
And you know what I mean? I don't know. We're not. You're just.
Dave is like the classic, like, father-daughter zombie apocalypse, like,
Yeah.
They both have guns.
I kill them all.
Yeah. She has guns, you have guns.
We got a lot of guns at the house.
Yeah.
All right.
Mitch got to see one today.
Number 14. The most difficult mission is to focus on your dreams, and the easiest task is to complain.
Welcome to America 101.
Right.
Hey, you know what? I can't do it. I'm going to complain about it.
I will say this. I like how they focus. The most difficult mission is to focus on your dreams. Mission. Big endeavor. Hundreds of thousands of tasks involved in that mission.
You think they chose that on purpose?
Yeah.
They could have.
The easiest task, minute thing, little thing, one thing, is to complain.
Yeah.
Okay? So a lot of people will give up on their grand mission in order to do one task, and that is to complain.
Yeah.
So,
and that mission could be, it's not owning your own business. It could be a lot of things. It could be go to college, get just a good job, and be a stay-at-home mom after 5 years. It could be all kinds of things. But that still takes a lot to get to that point. It's easier to say, well, I don't have the money, or the government's not giving me or my parents didn't stop complaining about it and just do what you want to do.
Right. The great words of Ed Milet: God doesn't call the qualified; He qualifies the called. Right.
Yeah.
In other words, whatever your mission is, you're going to have to level up and become a better person in order to achieve it.
Yeah, if your mission is to be a math teacher, guess what? You got to qualify to be a math teacher, which means you got to go to college.
If your mission is to feed the homeless, you're going to have to find a way to fundraise to buy the food to feed the homeless.
Yeah.
He's not going to just hand food in your lap.
Yeah, you got to do the work to get the job done.
Right.
Easy said, easy done.
Last one. The most important decision you will ever make is who you have children with, so choose wisely.
Yeah, I mean, what do you want me to say to that? Yeah, you're 100% right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
Any doubts, Mitch?
No, God no. And especially now that my kids are in the tween years, right? I got an 11 and a 13-year-old. Especially the 13-year-old. Anybody who's had a 13-year-old... they'll understand the fact that at 13, you know nothing as a parent, right? Like,
I don't know. Mine's 9.
Mom, you're so stupid. Dad, you're so stupid.
Is it bad if when he says that you go, Mace, Danielle, he's right?
So, I mean, a real life example in our house, Grant started not feeling well on Thursday night. Last week, Friday, he stayed home from school, right? Friday night. Friday afternoon. He stayed home from school. His throat was looking crazy red and everything else, so Danielle makes him an appointment at urgent care. And Grant keeps saying his stomach hurts and his throat hurts, and he's just not feeling like he looks like shit. So Danielle's doing some other function up at the school, and so she makes an appointment for urgent care and says, hey, can you take him up there if you get the chance? And I'm like, sure. So they call and say, we're ready. So she calls me and say, hey, can you take him up there? I take him up there. She already did the whole online check-in thing, but they have one other little questionnaire that we have to fill out. So he's off sitting in a chair. I'm filling it out. And from across the room, we hear a splat, splat, splat. And I look over there, and he is puking all over the urgent care waiting room. So, happy that we were there, right? I didn't have to clean it up. They actually, I offered to clean it up, and they wouldn't allow me to. They said, no, we have people to
liability.
do that. Yeah. And so then, pro tip, if you ever want a fast pass to the urgent care, all you have to do is throw up in the waiting room, and they will get you out of that waiting room immediately and take you straight to the back.
Pro tip,
so
if your kid's stomach hurts, get him a trash can.
Yeah.
Isn't that parenting 101?
Well, it's urgent care. Like, we had him all set up with bowls and towels around his bed here just in case, but you get to urgent care, you're kind of on a whim, right? So anyway... They fast track us back to the back. They do a whole bunch of tests. They were asking to do a COVID test. And I'm like...
Yeah, they're still doing that. Like, while he's throwing up, like, we should focus on that.
And I'm like, okay, let's think about this. Stomach hurts, throat hurts. He's not coughing. He's not running a fever.
Yeah.
Nothing about this says COVID.
It actually says food poisoning.
Yeah, it says food poisoning or just a standard tummy bug, right? Well, and so I asked the lady, I'm like,
24-hour bug,
I'm like, you can do a flu test and you can do a strep test, but we're not doing a COVID test. And she's like, well, we really want to know. And I'm like, what would you do with this information?
Nothing.
What are you going to do if he has COVID? Oh, nothing. What are you going to do if he doesn't have COVID? Well, nothing.
Yeah.
We would tell the school about it. Well, he's not going to go back to school until he feels good anyway.
Yeah.
So
it's so dumb.
Yeah, it's
so stupid.
It's just stupid. And
it's just so stupid.
I always have a hard time taking advice from your medical care professional that is morbidly obese. It's like, I'm not.
That's so awful to say, but yeah, you're right.
I'm not a judgmental person. However, if you're in the business of medical care,
so you're either not taking your own advice or reading the wrong advice.
Like, you want your chefs to be fat.
Right. Yeah, oh, totally.
Yeah, I want my chef to be a fucking fat guy.
I ain't trusting a skinny chef, just like I ain't trusting a skinny, like, fitness expert. Like, and I mean skinny, like, if I got a personal trainer that's supposed to get me built, I ain't going to trust one that's skinny. We still haven't gotten the results back from the strep test. Grant's feeling better. But
are you telling me that motherfucker might have strep and you brought him over to my house today to meet my daughter and be in my house and I was next to him 2 seconds ago?
That's his whole plot. He's like, I'm going to implant him.
I'm going to tell you right now, if we all get sick, I'm going to seriously beat your ass when I come over.
Oh, a few beers maybe.
No, I'm going to punch you in the face. And we're going to have this brawl that's been stewing for 20 years.
Well, so where I'm going with this.
You ever see somebody get beat up, Austin?
So,
next week you might.
So where I'm going with this is he's feeling better. He was feeling okay on Sunday. Danielle still kept him home from school on Monday, and he's fine. Danielle kept him home from school today.
You better fucking hope
and he's fine, right? She's just waiting for these strep test results to come back, so she just has confirmation, right?
Well, he obviously doesn't have strep if he's back.
Right. He's back to fine, right? Well, my older son, it's just eating him up. Why does Grant get to stay home from school for 2 extra days? He's fine, right? He was recently stayed home from school sick one day. And, he was actually, like, something was up. We don't know what. Like, he literally stayed in bed all day long, slept for, like, 20 hours straight.
Yeah, I noticed on Tuesday night when Danielle posted that, another right after we were over here. Yeah. I'm thinking, man, this motherfucker.
So, but here Mason is bitching about all that. And I'm like, hey, it doesn't matter if you agree with your mom or not. You have to respect her decision. And it goes to number 15 here of the most important decision you're ever going to make is who you have children with is, my role as a father. I don't even have to agree with Danielle. Now I do, but I don't have to.
Let's be honest.
On this subject, I do, right?
Okay.
I don't have to agree with her on any of this. However, my role as a parent is I have to instill in my kids.
You have to have a united front.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if you agree with her or not. You have to respect her decision.
That doesn't really have as much to do with that. It does. But yeah, that's parenting 101. You have to have a united front. And even if after you shut the door and go to bed, you look at her and go, what the fuck is the matter with you?
Right.
You just have to.
And that becomes inherently easy when you chose the right person to have children with. If you're constantly questioning, I don't know if that's the right person, Well, then when your 13-year-old is questioning your wife about why their brother's getting to stay home, you're also going, yeah, honey, why is he getting to stay home? It's hard to go to bat for that.
Yeah.
So
that's funny. Well, it's like stay united. Also, too, I learned that the guy was telling me that making for sure whatever punishments you roll out, making for sure to stick with those, is because what happens is you'll have parents who are just like, when we get home, I'm going to do this, and then like they fold.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like making for sure that whatever, like he said, he talked about, he threatened to take his kid's car away from him for like a week. He's like, I got to be prepared to do this.
Yeah.
Where else he's going to call.
Pro tip on that. Think first, speak later, right?
Yeah, because you don't want to be taking their ass to freaking soccer practice. Okay, so you maybe pick something else to take away.
Yeah. Or you say, I don't know what your punishment's going to be. I'll let you know later, but for right now, you're in your room.
For right now, think
because
about it.
That way you don't overcommit on the punishment, and then you have to follow through.
And two, it probably gives you a chance to like cool down. Like if it's like maybe an hour later, like okay, this was a big deal, but it's not really like, I was about to, do this.
One thing Danielle and I are very good about is we never punish out of anger. And if we are angry, we recognize it instantly, and we separate ourselves from the kid. We put the kid in the room, and we calm down. We talk to each other about it or whatever the case may be, and then we go punish the kid. Doesn't hurt a kid. If a kid had to spend 6 hours in their bedroom while you were figuring shit out, it's not the end of the world. Right?
No, they'll be fine.
Yeah,
well, the thing is,
plenty fine.
That's like a punishment in itself too. Is just having to wait. Like,
Layla loves her room.
I can remember as a kid,
like, okay.
my parents were paddlers, and so they would send me to my room, and I would literally go put on every pair of underwear in my drawer, just trying to get a little cushion for that paddle,
Oh my god!
And then you learn to be a really good actor. Like I think paddling his cultured more Oscar and Academy Award-winning actors than anything else. Oh, that hurt!
Yeah.
And you never put your hand back there to stop the paddle because that really fucking hurts.
That just means you're gonna get that means you're gonna get more. Like for me, if I did that when I was young, that means like any spanking I blocked.
Yeah.
I was good at.
I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I won't say it.
All right, so those are your 15 uncomfortable truths about life.
Oh, I'm exhausted, Mitch.
Yep. This was a long one. This was an hour and a half.
That's okay. It was a good show. Good show, man.
So if this show brought you value, if this show made you think about things in a new perspective, please do us a favor and help share this show with somebody else who you think would be interested in it. They don't necessarily even have to subscribe to our whole channel. If you liked this particular show, share this show with somebody. Share it with your wife. Share it with your parents. It doesn't matter who.
Your parents.
Share it with your kids. I send my kids a lot of videos and stuff that I find
interesting. First off, your kids shouldn't be listening to me talk.
No. Well, they get to in person, live and in person.
I put a filter on for them. It's a thin filter, but it's on.
It's a chain link fence to keep the pissing section of the pool at bay.
Oh, man.
So
it's tough. Tough out there, boys.
Guys, do us a favor, help share the show, and until next time, guys, we will see you later.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.